How many of you have signed up for a free class or webinar challenge in the past and then completely missed the offering, not shown up, not engaged with the work, maybe not even opened any of the emails that were sent to you with the free resource that you were interested in? I have done this several times before. Definitely have gone through phases of being in like research mode, maybe looking for something and signing up to lots of similar things, not always remembering to calendarize them, and then in the same week receiving multiple emails from different creators and practitioners, and it might all be great content, but when you reach that information overload and your inbox is saturated and suddenly there are other things that are coming into your work pile, yeah, it is easy to get overwhelmed with all that and then just be like, well, it's free and I don't really, yeah, I don't have to engage with it. There's no pressure, there's no commitment, there's no skin in the game, if you like, because I haven't paid, I haven't lost anything. This year, I've done a couple of challenges and I've taken a really different approach. They came with good recommendation, which is always something that gives you an extra nudge to show up and be accountable, for sure, when you know that other people have explored something and got value from it. And yeah, having a trusted recommendation or signpost from someone is, yeah, that can be like a make or break in your decision as to whether you choose to really, yeah, explore something. But in both instances, I was like, okay, let's look at the structure of this. How much time do I need? What do I need to put in order to like make the best of this experience? And actually showing up fully for both of those, yeah, paid dividends. And I, in reality, the time commitment wasn't huge, and the consistency of returning to that task at the same time each day helped me to see that I would be able to continue to implement tools and techniques or things that had been shared because they were in bite-sized chunks and they felt like they could be easily worked into my existing schedule without, making me feel like it was another mountain to climb. So I've had two really positive experiences this year engaging with other people's work, and yeah, I'm using that feedback and that insight as to how I'm structuring this challenge coming up at the end of this month. And yeah, so I feel like I need to address that question then of how much time do I need? How much time will these practices, invitations to explore, work? So yeah, we're looking at a practical exercise, a creative prompt, and a reflection point. So minimum, realistically, to fully honor the potential with each exercise, I'd say give yourself 5 minutes to explore, specifically setting aside 5 minutes for each, and then allowing there to be room to play with, because certain exercises or a reflective space might lend itself well to just a free flow, because depending on the day, depending on your energy levels, depending on something that you've explored, previously, that has started a processing going on, that there might be things coming up from that, and actually giving that the time and space to kind of blossom and find realization, would lend itself to stretching out the space a little more. So I'd say 15 minutes each day over the 3 days, but allow for longer. And I think this is again about how do you feel you want to show up in the space, because this information that I will be sharing, it is free, but your time isn't free, and your time and choice to engage with something is a commitment, not to me, but to yourself. And that is really easy to say, but to actually experience the reward of that, the only way is to kind of dip your toes in and actually give yourself that kind of little nudge if you're feeling called into exploration with something, and say, well, if the aim here is personal development, and if the aim is related to giving myself permission to connect and being open to whatever that discovery might lead to, even if you don't feel like this is the right time to continue those explorations or to immerse more deeply in practices that are supportive to the vocal development piece, you will not have lost anything. You will have given yourself time and space to connect with that self-awareness and understanding, and you will also have a reading on where am I at now, what is my capacity, and maybe also insights or inspirations about what could my next steps be, or if there's kind of something creatively that's been in the background, having that time to actually pick it up and brush off the dust and examine it again and say, is this something that I want to nurture? Is this still lighting me up? Am I still passionate about this? So these are ways in which the tools that I'll be sharing over these 3 days can support you, and they'll be structured in such a way that as invitations, they are there for you to adapt and tweak, because it's about your approach. And I really want to emphasize that, because this work, I feel, can't be prescriptive in the delivery. It has to be something that ignites and creates a kind of a pull towards it, so that it is engaging part of your energy that feels called to go a bit deeper or take the next step. And that is not something that can be forced. It's rather a quality of space holding, that it feels inviting and it feels safe, and maybe is offering that kind of encouragement of, you don't know if you don't try. So that's what I'd like to infuse with this invitation for you, if you would like to join. So the 25th through to the 27th, daily prompts by email, which you can explore self-directed in your own time, 15 minutes a day. You'll have a few days to catch up, to go into those practices in more depth. If you would like to. And then there will be an integration session on the Monday the following week. So that will be the space to bring any questions, insights, creative realizations that feel like that you would benefit from, sharing, being witnessed by others who've also gone through that process. There'll be some expansion also on how all of these tools relate to one another. So there'll be a top portion, and I'll also be sharing information about upcoming offerings as well, and kind of logical next steps to move on from what I've shared here. So I hope that's given you some more insight into the tone and how that space will work. And yeah, I challenge you to join me. And yeah, this is a really good point in the year to as we're heading towards that cusp, that autumn cusp. I've already started thinking personally about what do I want to carry forwards with me, and what am I ready to let go of. And sometimes just having some structure and some time to kind of meet ourselves and meet our energy is the very prompt that we need to give us a bit of clarity on what the horizon beckons as we're turning into that later part of the year. So I'll leave it there, and we'll keep updating you throughout the week. Please head over to the website and I will drop the link in there, and you can read a bit more and register as well.